Hey designers and agencies, Helen here. I'm the founder of Creative Business Brain, and today we're going to talk about fear. So, how to get over your fears? Well, was once a time when I was absolutely scared of everything. I used to have really bad anxiety. I've talked about this quite a lot, but I thought this was a great topic to talk about because I've learned so much about myself and how to conquer fear so that you can achieve anything you want. And there are so many things that I was afraid of when I was younger. I think a lot of people make up all these scenarios and crazy things in their heads, and often they're not even true. So once I actually realized that I could actually have more control over my fear, I started to actually enjoy my life a lot more. I did some really crazy things as well, just to prove it to myself that I could do anything. And I could get through the fear, I could survive of just about anything. I remember setting myself a challenge every year. So I do things like climbing, I do things like jumping out of a plane. Yeah, really crazy stuff. And I was quite young when I did that. I'm trying to think how old I was actually. Yeah, I think I was 18 when I jumped out of a plane. And I didn't tell anyone I was going to do it. Obviously, I had an instructor with me. But yeah, it was mad. But I'm so glad I did because once you've done these things, initially when you're trying to do anything for your business or in your life that you're worried about, it can be so, so daunting. When you push yourself and just believe in yourself and just think about the best case scenarios instead of the worst, amazing things start to happen. So let's talk about how you can conquer fear today. It's actually natural that we all think of really negative things. It's actually the way that we're made. We're programmed as human beings to look out for danger all the time. So we're always programmed to be on the lookout for anything that could go wrong. But if you live your life in that way, it's very hard to grow a very successful business because you're always looking at oh God, is this going to happen? Or what if that happens? And if you're scared to do anything and you don't take action, obviously nothing's going to happen. So yeah, so I want you to think to yourself, okay, if there's something that you're really scared of, you have to ask yourself a few questions. So you've got to say to yourself, okay, why am I scared? Is the first good question to ask yourself. Why am I actually scared? And just listen to yourself. Listen, that's something that I've learned over the years. I didn't listen to myself enough. If you listen to your reactions and your automatic reactions, you can actually reason with those things and start to realize that most of them aren't true. So you're going to ask yourself, okay, why am I scared to do this? Or why am I afraid of this? Is that really true? Or am I just making this whole thing up? Okay, is that really going to happen? How do I know that's going to happen? Okay, so that's three questions. So the first one, why am I scared or why am I afraid to do this? Number two, you want to ask yourself, is that really true or am I making this up? If it is true, how do I know that's going to happen? Okay, so those three questions are really going to help you massively. Once you get to that stage and you realize, actually, I don't know for sure that's going to happen, um, and you realize that you are thinking of really negative things for no reason, you need to start thinking to yourself, okay, well, what's the good in this situation? What would be good about these things? That's the hardest part, I think, from being afraid of something, afraid of maybe taking action in your business, afraid of putting yourself out there, afraid of doing video or whatever it is, afraid of investing, afraid of getting some help or whatever it is that you're scared of. If you can get to that stage when you realize actually there's nothing to be scared of, or if you're thinking in a more positive way, there's nothing to be scared of. And you start to realize actually there's a lot of good in those things. Okay. So yeah, if you can see the good in everything, if you can start to tell yourself, okay, well, what would be the best case scenario? What would I really, really be excited about? If this happened, I would be over the moon. Okay, and imagine the perfect scenario. That's going to show you a new way of thinking. It's going to show you a more exciting world because if you always look at the ideal scenario, you can focus on that and it makes you want to take action. It gets you excited, it gets you motivated. And then what are three things I can do right now to help me get to that goal or get me back on track? Okay. Those things have really helped me massively. I know they will help you too. So please make sure you start asking yourself those questions. We all go through fear to get to our goal. So there's no one in life that's been really successful without going through any fear, any worries or doubts or, negative feelings. And when I was younger, I used to obviously, I did a lot of design on my own for a long time. And I started to need help because I was really struggling to do it all myself. I started to work with other freelancers and my design business was started to grow. But I was scared. I was scared of being able to trust people. I was scared of people running off with my clients. I really did look on the worst side of most things back then, and that's why uh, it took me a long time. It really took me a long time to grow. It took me a long time to think in a really successful way. Okay, so if met someone like myself back then, oh my goodness, things would be so different. It took me a long time to work out where I was going wrong, why I was thinking in such a negative way. But thinking like that doesn't serve you. So it's going to hold you back massively. It's going to stop you growing. And it doesn't matter how big your business is. I've worked with, people just starting out. I've helped people that have got big businesses as well, multi-million pound businesses. And when I started to focus on the good in everything, I started to make massive positive changes in my whole life. Okay. It doesn't matter how big your business is, you can still make a big difference by thinking in the right way. I had to learn to trust people. I had to learn to imagine the best case scenarios and keep those things in my mind, keep the fear away, focus on my vision every day. I always encourage everyone I work with to have an amazing vision and keep that in your mind all the time. Imagine yourself doing those things, imagine yourself being in that situation and feeling really successful. And if any fear ever creeps in, you have to remind yourself that you're in control. Remind yourself that it's just your natural instincts, your natural subconscious mind is trying to keep you safe. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It means that your mind is just trying to stop you doing things you've never done before. But you do have to do things you've never done before if you want better results. If you want to improve your life and improve your business, you have to do new things. And I started to feel so much better, much more powerful, much more confident in everything that I was doing because I had more control over my mind as well. And I had other businesses as well alongside my design business. I used to teach, I got to a stage where I was really confident. I started to teach kickboxing. That was amazing. That was probably one of the best things I ever did. Obviously, I got really fit and strong as well. I had a health products business. I used to teach design. And I started to do all these other things because my confidence grew, because I started to realize that I could do anything I wanted. I actually started to believe in myself a lot more. And I think if people could just give themselves permission to have whatever they want in life, they would go a lot further, a lot faster. And you have to work on the inside as well as the actions you take. For a long time, we used to just teach the actions to take for businesses. We used to teach how to do the right things on social media, how to do the right content, how to talk to people in the right way, and how to follow proven methods that we have shown work really well. But we didn't teach the mindset side anywhere near as much as we do now. And it really showed. I started to realize, oh my goodness, these people aren't thinking in the right way. They're really holding themselves back. And if you start to do things, sort of slide off into a negative pattern, you really are going to sabotage all that hard work that you've done. So you must work on yourself every day. And it's so crucial that you're in good habits with that. If you want any help, maybe we'll do a video on that another day. But yeah, put your mindset and your own health and your own wellness first. keep the fears at bay. The fears are going to make up things. Your mind will make up fear and crazy scenarios, but you must realize that that's not true. Don't let your fear start blaming other people, your ego start blaming people. You have to take responsibility and you have to take control of that fear. It's the only way that you're going to do really well in your design business, in your agency. A lot of bigger companies I've helped as well sometimes still show a little bit of fear, even though they've got massive projects coming in. They've worked with big companies. They talk to big companies every day. They turn multiple millions over every year, and they still have some fears. I've had people come to me when they've lost big retainers. So imagine if you've just lost two big retainers. I don't know if this is relevant to you right now, but a lot of clients sometimes come to me when things have gone really well. They think things have gone really bad. Okay, so don't leave it till things have gone bad. Make sure you get help before things happen. Let's just imagine anyway that you've lost two big retainers, £30,000 a month each, and that's a massive hit for your business. How are you going to pay your staff? How are you going to carry on paying all the bills? How are you going to pay the rent for the property that you're renting? How are you going to pay your mortgage? Now, you're going to worry about all of those things. You're going to start really starting to be concerned about where the money's going to come from. And you're going to worry about having to start making people redundant. Now, you're going to think about how you can replace those things as soon as possible. You've got to start thinking, right, what can we do to take action? Let's not worry too much. Worry actually causes more problems than good in most people's lives. So if you can just stay calm and you can start focusing on think about what you can actually do in a more positive way. Think about what I said earlier, okay? So you might sound crazy, but even, everything happens for a reason. And I do honestly believe that if anything bad happens in my life, I don't try not to see it as a bad thing to start with, but if anything crazy happens, I just think to myself, okay, so why am I worried about this? You've got to ask yourself, okay, why am I fearful? Why am I scared about this situation? So that's number one, remember, as we said earlier. Is that really true, or am I making this up? Is it true? Okay, yep. So if you've lost retainers, then that's true. But you're probably telling yourself a bunch of other stories about what's going to happen next. Oh my God, I'm going to have to lay everyone off. I'm going to have to sell the business, or I'm going to have to borrow more money, or whatever it is. Okay, you're going to start to make up scenarios that aren't true. How do I know this is going to happen? Well, you don't know what's going to happen next. You've got to decide what's going to happen next. Okay. And why is this actually a good thing? And that might be the hardest thing to do for most people. When they think something really awful's happened, you've got to look at what's good about it. So why is this a good thing? Okay, well, maybe they were the worst clients ever. Maybe those two contracts were the hardest contracts, and the contracts that were causing the most stress in your business every single day. Think about all the good things. Okay, well, at least we don't have to deal with this anymore. At least we don't have to deal with that person anymore. Whatever it is, try and think of good things about the situation. And you're going to think, okay, well, this might not be ideal, but things can get better now from this point on. I'm going to start talking to more people. I'm going to start actually taking more action. I'm going to be more proactive in the business. I'm going to share more value so that people know we're there to help them. Think about all the good things you can do. What are the three things that you can do next to make a big difference? Okay, so always remember, what can I do next? After you've thought about, okay, what are the good things about this situation? So what three things am I going to do next? Am I going to find a mentor to help us so we can turn things around a lot more swiftly, a little bit faster? Am I going to start putting more value out into the world? Am I going to start, I don't know, am I going to start actually doing regular content every day? So think about those things. Obviously, get someone to guide you and help you if you are struggling. I definitely didn't get help enough over the years, until I was a lot older and I realized how valuable my time was. When I started to realize how valuable your time is, you start to think, well, let's just find someone who knows how to do this, and get to your goal a lot faster. So yeah, so make sure you write those things down. You've got those questions so that you're ready for anything. You're ready to conquer fear. You're ready to look at the good side of everything, look at what's good about any situation and start being ready so that you've always got a plan. You always know what three things you're going to do next to improve the situation, and you can start feeling better and more in control of your business. So I hope you found that helpful today. If you really enjoyed it, like and subscribe and share with all your design and agency buddies. Let's see how many people we can help on this channel. Thanks so much.